When we look at the different kinds of open source software that exist in the library arena, they're in different categories. I focus more on the systems because that's what I know my main area of involvement. But so there are several open source integrated library systems. COA is the most famous and widely used. And it may be that COA is the most widely used integrated library system in the world. Again, I'm looking for solid statistics to be able to back up that assertion. But the issue is that there are so many since it's open source, you can download it and install it without really even telling anybody. And, you know, when you think of the thousands of libraries in India and Latin America and others that use it almost universally, it's really hard to count those. So I'm still kind of working on trying to find a way to kind of solidly measure the number of libraries using that software. Evergreen is used mostly in the United States, little pockets internationally, but for and by libraries in the United States, mostly consortia public libraries. Invenio is a piece of open source software that was developed in Switzerland by CERN, the folks who or kind of scientific community. You know, it is distributed in the US and internationally commercialized by this organization called TIND. Has a pretty good handful of users in the US, looking to see how that system goes going forward. And then ABCD is a long-standing technology built on CDS and ISIS, which were developed by UNESCO, turned into an ILS. ABCD is open source, but again, it's used mostly as you know, a complete system by a lot of libraries, mostly in Latin America. Library services platforms are this other kind of more comprehensive type of resource management system. Things like Alma and WorldShare are the commercial proprietary versions of that. Folio is the recently developed open source library services platform built with a lot of support from EBSCO, but also with Index Data and maybe a half dozen other commercial companies involved in its development. And now there are dozens of commercial companies involved in its support. So it's kind of in the earlier stage of things, but you know, it seems like it's going to get traction as the number of early adopters come online and as other libraries kind of look to see how this software compares to the established proprietary systems. And then lots of other genres of software. Discovery interfaces, Viewfind and Blacklight are out there and well used, you know, as discovery interfaces that replace library catalogs. And then like institutional repositories, almost all, you know, DSpace and Fedora are the main ones there, and they're very widely used.